rich, powerful CEO with a perfect physique falls for clumsy, virginal, average girl with no apparent personality. We've all heard the 50 Shades of Grey story before. This is Twilight with sex. I mean, it actually is a Twilight fan fiction. So I did read this book. I actually read 2 of them. Don't judge me. And I must say, I felt kind of torn. Half the time, my inner goddess was doing the salsa. The other half the time, she was banging her head against the wall. So can I just say that I'm so excited that there's a BDSM erotica in the mainstream. People are reading about sex and jerking off to this book. And I think that's awesome. I think more people should read erotica. That said, as a BDSM erotica, I don't think this baby does a very good job at portraying BDSM. It relies on tired stereotypes about the BDSM community, and the nature of their dom-sub relationship isn't healthy. They don't do it right. And when we're talking about consensual violence, not doing it right is kind of a big deal. So Christian's story goes like this. He is a tortured soul born of a crack whore, and he's taken advantage of at 15 years old by a pedophile lover. And here we go. The tired trope of people who are into BDSM being damaged and abused. But then comes along the sweet virginal Anastasia Steele. And the entire series is basically her trying to cure him of his one flaw. The flaw being the BDSM. The best part is that supposedly this transformation happens through a storm of bad communication, passive aggression, stalking, helicopter rides, and at the heart of the storyline is this idea that if you're patient enough and you're kind enough and you say and do the right things, that you can fix your fucked up lover, and in the scariest scenarios, that you can fix your abuser. Another issue I took in terms of the BDSM stuff was the fact that consent was not good. Nah. So basically, how it's supposed to be, to draw the line between pleasure and violation, you make sure that both parties are informed about what they're going to do, they're excited about it, and they're both saying, yeah, I want to do it. It's not an, okay, I guess, or, well, if it makes you happy. It's a, yeah, I want it. And how does Christian get this? He hands her a freaking contract and says, sign this, please. Like, no, asshole, that's not how it works. Especially when she has no idea what half the things on that list are, and, you know, when she doesn't sign it. Contracts in general, they're not a good way to do consent. You need to talk about this stuff. You need to explore boundaries and be open and communicative with each other. And it's true that sometimes informed and enthusiastic consent is given. Other times, it's not. There were scenes that I read that left me feeling really weird, like I just read an assault scene. And that's because without enthusiastic and informed consent, it is assault. And this is why it makes me a little bit nervous that people are getting into BDSM using 50 Shades as their guide. As a dominant, Christian has an obligation to both understand and follow Anastasia's boundaries. Christian seems more in the market of pushing boundaries. In fact, on multiple occasions, he pushes her and wants to rush her into doing bigger things that she's obviously not ready for. I mean, the dude is a child. Children should not be dominants, okay? As a dominant, he also has an obligation to provide something called aftercare. A BDSM scene can be physically and emotionally exhausting, so it's essential that both people follow up immediately afterward, especially if you're new partners. Our darling Christian's aftercare? Just taken off. Yelling at her for yawning, threatening to spank her again for having a strong negative reaction to spanking. Yeah. And just like the Edward character, he also has abusive tendencies. Yeah, being a dom may mean deciding what your sub wears or what they eat, but it does not mean stalking them or isolating them from everybody. Being a dom doesn't mean that you are exempt from human decency. Fancy that. My hope is that people who have taken an interest in BDSM from reading these books will use it as an entry point and not as a guide. I'm gonna put some links in the description that offer some healthier information on beginning a safe and consensual BDSM relationship. I am also going to put some other books that you might like to masturbate to in the description. So, have a great week, everyone. I'll see you next week.